Under the harsh glare of the gym lights, the night smelled of sweat and arrogance. A seasoned MMA trainer, known for mocking anyone he thought beneath him, had just set his sights on the quiet black janitor sweeping in the corner. To him, it was a joke, a show of power. To the janitor, it was another reminder of how the world tried to keep him small. But when the trainer called him out in front of a crowd, something inside that quiet man shifted. What happened next would leave the entire room stunned and make everyone question who truly held the strength. Would you have stepped into the ring? By day, Marcus kept the gym running when no one else cared. He mopped sweat-slicked floors, patched broken lockers, and emptied trash long after the fighters had gone home. Most barely noticed him. At 42, he'd built a quiet rhythm, arriving before dawn, leaving well past midnight, headphones on and head down. Few knew he'd once been a Golden Gloves hopeful, his lightning-fast reflexes buried beneath years of thankless work and the weight of constant slights. The fighters treated him like background noise, some tossing casual insults that stung more than they'd admit. The head trainer, a local celebrity with a mean streak, loved to flex his ego. He bragged about toughness, mocked weakness, and smirked when Marcus walked by. To the trainer, Marcus wasn't a man with history or pride. He was just the janitor. But whispers of a late-night sparring session began to swirl, an unsanctioned match meant to entertain the regulars. And when the trainer's taunts grew sharper, Marcus felt the air around him change, as if the gym itself was waiting for something to break. The tension in the gym thickened over the next few days, as if every fluorescent light buzzed with a private dare. Word of the trainer's late-night challenge spread like wildfire. Fighters whispered during warm-ups, glancing at Marcus when they thought he wasn't looking. Some laughed under their breath, as if the idea of the quiet janitor stepping into a ring was comedy gold. Others simply watched, curiosity masking their unease. The trainer, smelling an audience, played his part to perfection. Each night he turned the volume up, sarcastic comments about men who only know how to push a broom, sly questions about whether Marcus even knew how to throw a punch. At first Marcus kept his routine steady, sweeping, scrubbing, replacing towels as if deaf to the insults. But inside, each jab landed harder than the last. Years of swallowed pride pressed against his chest. By midweek, the trainer set a date. Friday, midnight. No official bout, no cameras, just a friendly spar to settle what he called locker room curiosity. The crowd of regulars grew bolder, tossing side comments as Marcus passed. Someone taped a crude flyer to the wall. Janitor versus champ, one night only. Marcus barely slept. Memories surfaced of every time he'd been underestimated because of his skin, every door that had quietly closed before he could reach it. He remembered his teenage fights, the speed and skill that once earned him medals. That part of him hadn't disappeared, it had simply been buried. But he also remembered the risk. A public humiliation wasn't just another insult, it would be proof, in their eyes, that he never belonged. Friday night arrived. The gym, after hours, felt different, electric, hungry. About 24 people formed a loose circle around the mat, their sneakers squeaking as they shifted for a better view. The trainer stretched theatrically, muscles gleaming with sweat, flashing a grin that said he expected an easy show. Marcus stepped from the shadows in his work clothes, broom still in hand, drawing a ripple of surprise. The trainer's voice boomed. "Ready to clean the floor with yourself?" Laughter echoed off the walls. Marcus laid the broom aside and removed his jacket. His silence was sharper than any insult. The crowd sensed something changing. The air cooled. The trainer, still smirking, signaled to start and lunged forward with a cocky swing. Marcus didn't flinch. The moment hung there, suspended, seconds that stretched into something larger, a promise of either humiliation or revelation. And when Marcus finally moved, the room held its breath, waiting to see which it would be. The trainer lunged again, faster this time, aiming a brutal hook meant to drop Marcus before anyone could blink. But Marcus wasn't where the punch landed. He slipped aside with a speed that shocked the onlookers, a fluid motion born of years long past. Gasps rippled through the crowd. The trainer staggered, his confident grin faltering for the first time. Marcus's heart pounded, but not with fear. Every insult, every casual dismissal, every time someone had looked through him rather than at him fueled the precision in his movements. The trainer came again, frustrated now, his strikes wild and heavy. Marcus read them like an open book. In a single, effortless pivot, he drove a short, explosive counter straight to the trainer's jaw. The sound was sharp, final, like a bat cracking against a fastball. The trainer collapsed as if the floor had been waiting for him. Silence swallowed the room. For a breathless moment, no one moved. Marcus stood over the fallen man, chest heaving, eyes steady. The fluorescent lights glared down, reflecting a truth that could no longer be ignored. The janitor was not invisible. He had never been. Then came the murmurs. The crowd's laughter was gone, replaced by something heavier: respect, disbelief, a dawning shame. Those who had mocked him now avoided his gaze. The trainer lay dazed, his pride shattered far more than his body. Marcus didn't celebrate. He simply picked up his jacket and the broom he had laid aside, his movements calm, deliberate. The message hung in the charged air, louder than any victory shout. Strength isn't measured by titles, and dignity cannot be stolen. As he walked toward the door, the room remained frozen. Everyone had witnessed more than a fight. They had seen a man reclaim the power others tried to deny. And in that silence, a question lingered, sharp as the crack of that single punch. Who really had been the stronger man all along? The gym emptied slowly that night, but the echoes of what happened refused to fade. Marcus returned to his quiet routine the next morning, pushing his mop across the same sweat-stained floors. Yet everything had shifted. People who once brushed past him now offered hesitant nods. The same fighters who'd whispered insults now held their gaze a little longer, the weight of their silence heavier than words. The trainer never spoke of the fight. Bruises healed, but the crack in his pride remained, a reminder that strength built on arrogance crumbles fast. For Marcus, the victory wasn't about proving he could win a match. It was about reclaiming the respect that should never have been questioned, about forcing those around him to see the man they had chosen to overlook. Outside those gym walls, nothing about the world's bias had vanished. He still faced the same stares in grocery aisles, the same assumptions in job interviews. But he carried something new. The knowledge that dignity isn't granted by others, and it cannot be taken away. This single night became a quiet legend in the neighborhood. People told the story not just as a fight, but as a lesson about how prejudice blinds us, how easily we underestimate the depth of another person's strength. Racism thrives in those moments when we decide someone is less. Marcus shattered that lie with one decisive punch, reminding everyone watching that power is more than muscle or status. It's the unshakable belief in your own worth. So the question lingers for all of us. How many people do we walk past every day, never seeing who they really are? And when will we finally stop underestimating the strength it takes simply to be seen?